Hello, I'm meteorologist Bruce Jones with Midland Radio Corporation in Kansas City, Missouri. It's September, it's National Preparedness Month, and week two's subject is build a kit. So today we'll be talking about how to build a kit to be used in case of disaster. First of all, with COVID rampant, remember these two items need to be added to your kits now. Some sanitizer and some masks, because you will be required in certain shelters to have those with you. So number one, start with that. Let's start over here on the left side. I always recommend one of these survival radios. This is the Midland ER310 emergency crank radio. It has several sources of power, batteries, a rechargeable battery, has the solar panel on top. You can crank it and generate your own power. You can use that to recharge your smartphone. You can also listen to AM, FM, and NOAA weather radio. That's an important item to have in your Go Kit. In fact, it's about 5 of the items that you should have. So think of that as the beginning of your Go Kit. Remember, when it comes to water, you're supposed to have 3 gallons of water per person per day. 3 of these per person per day in your family. That's a lot of water, but remember, it's not just for drinking, it's also for brushing your teeth and bathing, etc. So that's the recommendation, 3 gallons of water per person per day. Now, water like this has a limited shelf life. You can buy water like this, emergency drinking water, and I believe this one has a shelf life of, I don't know what it is, 20, 25, 30 years. Some of these waters are specifically designed to have a long-term shelf life, and this one is up to 20 years. You can keep that. Have a first aid kit. Even a basic first aid kit like this is not very expensive, and it does have antibiotic cream. It has, of course, the bandages, etc. Important thing to have a first aid kit, because remember, in some disasters, you may be your own first responder. The disaster could be of such size and magnitude that the real first responders can't get to you, so you may be on your own for a half hour, an hour. In some cases, it could be a day or so. Make sure you're prepared. Let's talk about some of the food items that you can have in a Go Kit or in your prep kit. We're looking for things that don't need refrigeration, things that are easy to open and don't require cooking. So something like applesauce, a can of chili with a pop top on it, so you don't even need to have a can opener. Peanut butter is always very good because it's high protein. Everybody likes it. You can eat it with a scoop. You could put it on some crackers. Peanut butter is a good one. Now, these dried soups, remember, you're going to need water, and you're probably going to want to heat up the water. So do you have a source of fire where you can heat this up? Bear that in mind when you go to make your lists and you buy this stuff. Basic pork and beans, again, pop top. These canned meats like tuna and chicken of the sea tuna, etc., Star-Kissed. You'll need to have a can opener for those. These will be worthless if you don't have any way to open them, so make sure you plan accordingly. Baby food. If you've got little ones in the family, make sure you have baby food and also the baby wipes. Anything that you need, diapers, baby wipes, baby food, talcum powder, or whatever you used for diaper rash. Anything you need for your baby, make sure you have that. For kids, you might want to have a few little games, a deck of cards, anything to keep the kids busy. Now we can go on to things like trail mix and these camping foods. Now, these are freeze-dried foods here. Again, on these, you'll need to add water, and you might want to heat them up. So do you have a source of heating? Because remember, the electricity may be out, your electric stove might not work. Some folks would be able to cook on a gas grill. If you have a gas grill out in the lawn, you might be able to cook on your gas grill. So think about that as you buy this stuff. Which of this stuff can I eat without even cooking it? Which can I eat without adding water? And if I do need to add water, if I do need to cook, where am I going to get the water and where am I going to get the heat to cook? And don't forget your pets as well, especially if you're taking your pets to a shelter. They will not have pet food available at that shelter. You'll need to take your own, so take your pet food as well. A few other things you can have, your personal items. Your prescriptions, make sure you have some extra prescription pills with you, and you need several days worth because you don't have any idea when the Walgreens or the CVS or the Rite Aid might reopen. It could be days, it could be weeks. You have no idea. Toothbrush, these are nice. These are those little glow-in-the-dark sticks. You know, you break them and gives you some light in the evening. And maybe even your own, if you've got some favorite soap or something that you need some hypoallergenic soap, this would be a good thing to have some extra soap. And then don't forget the paperwork. Important paperwork about your house, about your insurance, about your automobile, any kind of health paperwork that you need to have, your social security card, your driver's license. You can make copies of some of these and keep them in a file that you can easily carry with you. So on a go kit like this, where you've got these food preparation items, where you've got your emergency preparation items like the ER310 crank radio, these items could be put in one location. They could be put in one bag, one box, but make sure you put those important papers in there, and glasses, if you've got glasses or contact lenses, and your prescription medication as well. All needs to go in there so that in the event that you need to evacuate, or if your home becomes unlivable due to damage, you've got the necessities here to hang on for a couple of days. Now, we used to say you need 3 days of food and water, 3 days. But we actually have emergency managers on the West Coast, specifically Oregon and Washington State, who are telling their people that you'd be better off having 2 weeks worth of supplies on hand, because out there they could have a huge earthquake on that Cascadia subduction zone, and it would create widespread havoc throughout the region. So I've actually talked to emergency managers in Oregon and Washington who say 3 days for that area for earthquake safety is not enough, that really 2 weeks would be more appropriate for some of those areas. It's up to you. If you've got the space to store that much, you can have these extra food items in there and just use that as your giant pantry. You know, pull from the front, restock back in the back, and do that, rotate your food through. But the bottom line is you need to do something, because in a big event, you're going to be in charge of your own survival for a couple of days, and it's best to have the food items that you and your family are accustomed to. Again, it's National Preparedness Month, September. All month long, we'll be talking about preparedness and the steps you can take to make sure that your family is better prepared to cope anytime a disaster threatens you. The items are easily bought over the long term. You don't need to get them all this month. So make a plan over the next 12 to 18 months to start collecting some of this stuff. Put it in your pantry, put it in your go kit, collect it over the course of 12 to 18 months, and after that, you'll have a really good go kit, and it won't break the bank all at one fell swoop. I'm meteorologist Bruce Jones with Midland Radio Corporation in Kansas City, Missouri. I thank you for watching. Thanks for taking a look at September, National Preparedness Month. And most of all, thank you for helping us build a weather-ready nation.